Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I've really got to do something about cleaning up my office. I am the epitome of a messy office girl. Okay. I blew out my Microsoft Natural Ergonomic keyboard. I had it for about 20 years. And I loved this keyboard. Hey, B. You cut off. Okay, can you hear me now? Let me get back to here. Okay. Okay. I love this keyboard, and B had to hear me whine about it. And this is the keyboard. This is the replacement keyboard. You can't hear me? Wait a second. You can't hear me? Okay, why am I distant? That's never been a problem before. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I'm using the different headset. Let me get rid of this headset. But you know what? It's not like I have anybody else talking on here, so let me just take the headset off. Let that disconnect. I don't need a headset because nobody else is talking. So, okay, does that sound better? That should disconnect in just a second. Let me pull up, make sure that disconnected. Just get my screen back up. Okay, yeah, that was the headphone set. Okay, anyway. The Microsoft Natural Ergonomic Keyboard. I've had this for 20 years, was my second one. I don't know what happened to the first one, but it went kapooey. I think I spilled something on it. Well, I know I did. I just don't want to admit to it. And I looked it up to replace it. 20 years is a good spell for a keyboard. And to replace this exact same one was $400. I'm not paying $400 to replace a keyboard, even though I love this keyboard. It's fantastic. It works great. When I was working, I had to do a lot of typing for reports and investigations and stuff like that, and never had a problem with my wrists. Using a regular keyboard, always problems. I did pick up a replacement keyboard, but it's not the same. I don't like change. That's, I could blame it on PTSD, but you get old and you don't like change. Okay, that's not just PTSD thing. That's normal. So anyway, I did take apart my old keyboard. Oh, okay. So this is the new one. I got this off of eBay with like $30 for it. I tested it. All the keys work. It works fine, but as you can see, your more common keys aren't off. So I just want to replace it because on my old busted keyboard, the keys are not worn off. So they'll work fine. So I'm gonna replace that. And you can see it's easy with just unscrewing that. It's easy enough to replace. But I also have to clean it. And I didn't do that part of it yet. So you guys get to amuse me while I take that apart, and then you'll see me take apart that part of the keyboard. So, and there is a lot of screws to taking apart a keyboard. And my little screwdriver is too small for that, so and my big screwdriver is going to be too big, I think. So B, that was a good live you did, and I am sorry that at the end I made a distracting post. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't look to see if it was still in there. Because I had stepped away. As you saw, I was quiet for a while because I had stepped away, and then I was commenting based on, oops, there goes. I was commenting based on your comment, and based solely on your comments. And yeah, I probably did say a few things in there that were instigating, and I do apologize for that. So yeah, it is what it is. So I apologize for that. And I wouldn't have said anything, but I was reacting to your comments when you felt you needed to apologize for. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm scratchy this morning or this afternoon, where you felt the need to apologize for your perceived lack of comment or comment for your lack of content. And I don't think you have lack of content. You make content when you can. Your fees aren't outrageous. Nobody expects more from you than what you give, you know. Nobody expects more from you. You give just the right amount. You know, you show up. You show up to other people. You support other creators. You support your members. You know, you show up and you support your members. And people notice that. And that's the difference. And I didn't go all out and say all of that. I said, you know, what I said was short and maybe not so sweet. Let it go out and say everything else. You know, there's a lot more I could have said, but I didn't because it was your chat and the drama was not in your chat. So yeah. You know, I never realized how many screws there are holding the keyboard together. It's like there's 1,000,005 fucking screws in this thing. Jesus, take the wheel. So, and I'm sorry if I made you shed a tear in your live. I certainly didn't mean to do that. Now, in theory, this keyboard repair should be easy. I'm just replacing a keyboard. I'm just replacing these keys. And again, I say in theory. Because we know how things like this can go. I need more light. Oh, here we go. And wow. You ever realize how dusty and dirty a keyboard can get? Well, yeah, we all know how dusty and dirty they can get, but wow. Definitely need to clean these out. Okay, the letters are out. Well, except for the Q and the A, but that's okay. And these letters can be popped out individually also. Yeah, they're a little sticky, so I definitely spilled something in there because they're not just dropping down. But all these letters, if you look, you can see you can individually pop these out if it was necessary. So put that up there. Now, all the individual parts for this keyboard are also sold on eBay. And they're sold for a pretty penny too, I might add. So I could probably turn around and my compressed air, I could probably turn around, clean up most of these parts, and sell the whole thing part by part on eBay. Doesn't mean it would sell right away, but I'd probably turn around and sell it piece by piece on eBay and make back what I paid for it if somebody was looking for it. Yeah, I could see it looks like a little bit of liquid damage right there. Who knows if that's from this time or not, or over time, 20 years, over 20 years, I've probably spilled quite a bit in here. 20 years is a long time for a keyboard, I think. Yeah, some of these keys, I mean, they're all moving, but some of them seem to move a little bit slower than others. So I'm going to do a alcohol wipe down on all of these. And I could have done that before the live, but then you wouldn't get to see what's involved when you do what we know we're not supposed to do, which is use liquids around your electronics. Okay, so I have my isopropyl alcohol here, and nothing special. Yes, I'm spilling it all over me and the floor. I could have swore I blew that out better, but apparently I didn't. Or there's just some sticky stuff in there holding some of that hair on there. And knowing that I have pets in the house, of course there's air in there, or there's hair, I should say. I'm going to start by just cleaning off what I could visibly see, the easy parts. And this is what most of us would see easily. And I was looking for my Q-tips. I know I had them in here because I was using them when I was cleaning the litter robots, electronic parts. And I don't remember where I put them. And since I quickly scheduled this live, I didn't have time to look for them. So I'm ad-libbing here. And I'm going to dry out my nails with all this alcohol. Oops. Bad girl. Okay. So I'm thinning out this piece of lint-free doohickey I'm using. Yeah, I should start listing B because I so infrequently use eBay that first time I list, they're going to hold funds. I think they hold funds for, if I remember correctly, they hold funds for like 30 days. Because it'll be like I'm a first time seller, it's been so long. So they'll hold funds for like 30 days, I believe, before they disperse. So God forbid they withhold the couple bucks I might make. And this way, when I do my feather sales again, those will be some big bucks. They won't hold because I have too many feathers in the house. When I'm done here, I'll show you some of my feathers, and I have got to get started cleaning them. The ones I have in here aren't even a feather in the bucket. So this is going to take a while, I can tell. Dare I say, let's face facts, who does a cleaning like this on their keyboards? Because I don't want to be the only one who doesn't do this kind of cleaning on their keyboard. But this is pretty bad. Get this back section here. But I don't think, I mean, I know I've air blown out keyboards before. I do that. Well, I used to do that on the regular when I used a keyboard all the time. But I can't think of too many times that I've gone in there meticulously cleaning out like this. And I haven't even started to get down in here because, you know, you take it apart like this, you might as well get in there and do that heavy duty cleaning is the thought process I'm doing. So, or it's the thought process I'm using is get in there and really do a heavy duty cleaning. And I looked at the new one and there's a lot of dust in there, so that one needs really cleaned out too. I think when I pull out the other one, just to I'll do a demonstration on how to pop out keys, because we've all had keys break. That's a common thing because if it wasn't, they wouldn't sell individual keys on eBay. And I have a keyboard in the other room that I never bothered to repair, but you know, one of the birds landed on it and their nail gripped the key and ripped the key right off. What feature are you talking about? The redirect? If that's what you're talking about, I was looking into it while you were talking. That's why I didn't say anything for the last couple of minutes. I think I have to have a certain amount of members because I was looking up, I have to enable that. And I think I have to have a certain amount of members before I can enable that ability. So the fault may not have been on your end of being unable, your inability to be able to find that may not have been on your end. It may have been in my lack of members in being unable to enable that. So I don't think that was a fault. I think that was just my not having enough members yet. So not a fault. So I think that's what it was. So I got to bust a move, but I got another idea. Hey, Curls, glad you made it. Hey, you know what? Yeah, I think it was because I don't have enough members yet to enable that feature. Hey, Curls, not that I'm that big yet, but can I make you a moderator on here for that occasion where B's not able to be here yet? Be here? Because eventually that's going to happen where B's not able to be here because she's taking care of that infant she has. Did you see what she just said to me, Curls? Curls, did you see what B just said to me? She said my ideas are scary. My ideas are scary because they're good ideas. B, what bad ideas have I had? What bad ideas have I had? Tell me, what bad ideas have I had? I'll wait. I'll wait. Still waiting. Those all seem to be moving good, so I'm going to move on to the other side. Oh, gross. Okay, okay, Curls. This is my keyboard. Well, this is the replacement keyboard. Yes, it's upside down, but it's a keyboard. It's a Microsoft Natural Ergonomic keyboard. Mine was 20 years old, and I spilled something on it, fried it. And I love that keyboard. To replace it with the same keyboard was $400. I wasn't paying $400 for a new keyboard, but I love that keyboard. So I bought a used one for I think with shipping was like $30, give or take. But it had some worn off keys. Some of the keys were worn off. So I disassembled the keys from my broken one which is what I just took those off, which is what I'm cleaning up now because they needed cleaned. And then I'm going to take apart the new one. Excuse me. Then I'm going to take apart the new used one and put my non-worn out keys on. And it'll be like new. Yeah, this keyboard, to replace it now, is $400. I'm sorry, I'm not paying $400. No keyboard is worth $400. And I know when I bought this keyboard 20 years ago, I didn't pay that much for it. I would never have paid that much for it, but you know, I like the keyboard. I like the way it feels. It's comfortable. When I was doing a lot of typing for work with, investigations and reports and stuff like that, it's great on the wrists. It works good. I'm old. I'm set in my way. I'm not that old, but I'm set in my ways. I like comfort. I like the way it feels. It's good. This is my new keyboard that I bought while I was trying to replace it. It works, but it's just not the same. It does things. I could change the colors on it. Ooh, that's cool. But, color changing does not make a keyboard that comfortable. And like I said, I wasn't going to pay $400 for a new one, but I was able to get it for a good price. And that made it worthwhile to me. Because I'm set in my ways. I'm stubborn like that. And hey, it gave me some fun little content here for me to show my mad skills at repairing a keyboard by changing out the keys. Come on. Y'all were just dying to know how to do this, weren't you? Tell me this isn't original content in our group, how to repair a keyboard, right? Watch, I'll probably break it now, just because I said that. Da, 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 da. B, you can come up and talk if you want while you're working. It'll be easier than typing. Not like you don't know how to get up here. Like I even had to say that. We could sit here and chit chat and discuss some of our future endeavors. We could talk ideas. We could talk about my good ideas and non-existent bad ideas. Because no idea is bad. Ever. You know what? And I'm sorry, while I'm working, if I don't look at the screen that often, because I do need to pay attention. It's not completely uncomfortable. I'm not going to say that, but I'm just set in my ways. And when you have something that you like and it's comfortable, you just, it's set in my ways. And I can admit that if I couldn't have found the same one to replace, I would have dealt with that one. I would have had to. But you know what I do notice is that because I am so set and so used to the Microsoft one, there are several, because my hands are so used to this keyboard, I do find myself hitting certain keys. Like I'm hitting the N key wrong. I'm hitting the V and the B wrong. There's a couple other keys that I keep hitting wrong, so I have to keep looking back at the keyboard. And it might just be. You know what? Okay. Hold on. Let me. We could talk about whatever. Hold on. I don't think I've ever invited anybody up on stage before, so let me. I had to figure out how to do that. There you go. And yeah, you don't have to be in person. You could just do your avatar. Sorry, I didn't see that right away because I am working more than I'm reading. I didn't realize I had a screen. I'm sorry, I had your comment up on the screen for so long too. I didn't realize I was doing that. I'm not 100% sure which debacle you're talking about, although I think I have an idea. But we're all just here for the chat. You know what, B, how do you send out notifications? I seem to recall hearing that mentioned before. And I meant to ask you that before. Oh, well, let me add you to the stage. I see you're here. There you go.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Low.
Let me try. I might have to come back out and come back in. I've got my earbud in because otherwise it normally will echo if I don't.
Well,
Is that any better?
No, you're really low. I don't know if that's an adjustment I can do. So let me see if I can, edit your mic settings.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not letting me. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. Okay, say something.
Okay, is that any better? Am I any louder?
No, I have your mic turned up all the way.
You know what? Okay, give me a second. Let me get different earbuds and I'll come back, okay?
Okay, I'll go ahead and remove you. Okay. My speaker is up. What are you talking about? Okay, let me turn it up more. Yeah, my speakers are up all the way. Let me double check. Yeah, my speakers are turned up all the way. You know what? Let me yeah, I can't mute here. Yeah, and if I turn off my well, you know what? Let me try putting my Princess Leia's on, and let me know if it changes. Let me know if it audio is, because I'll hear better through the app, but I don't want it to affect my voice. Okay, are you up there? Okay, which one are you? Are you good? Curls?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, wow. Okay, you're really loud now. Okay, keep talking. Okay, now I don't hear anything. Hello? Are you back?
Okay, this is so weird. When I finally can get on and I can hear myself. Okay, are you there? Can you hear me?
Nope, can't hear you at all.
Oh my God, I don't know what to do.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
How can I answer you if I didn't hear you?
Oh, that's true. Good point. Okay, I should have clarified. The debacle I'm going to be talking about has nothing to do with you two. This is personal, and I've just decided that it's not that I don't talk to anyone about the struggles that's going on with some of my family members with addiction. I just don't normally do it too publicly. But after what I've experienced, I'm just done hiding from it. I want to talk about it. I just feel like I need to talk about it. And after what happened on Sunday, I just have to stress people really advocating for their loved ones because it was awful. So this is what happened.
Wait a minute. What happened Sunday?
Yeah, that's what this has to do with my daughter. And we finally, after a year, got her into rehab on Saturday. She is inpatient rehab. And that was a huge, huge milestone to get her there. So then Sunday, I was heading by Tira actually to have lunch with her. So I'm now in another state because I'm in Wisconsin. She's in Illinois. Everyone knows this, so I'm not like doxing myself.
Wait a minute.
Well,
You were the friend that she was going to have lunch with.
yes, I'm the friend she was going to have lunch with.
Okay.
So I was on my way there, and I didn't get very far. And all of a sudden, my phone starts blowing up that my daughter had a seizure and that now she's at the hospital. And so I pull over because there's no way I can drive and like handle all of this and stay not distracted, right? And so then I get a call from the rehab center telling me that she's had 3 seizures. She's My daughter's an alcoholic, and this is unfortunately part of the dangers of coming off of alcohol. She does not have alcohol in her system and hasn't had it for several days. But it's the one, I think someone told me you can also die from benzos coming off of it, but I know you can die from stopping alcohol, even if you have none of it in your system, because it's just so damaging to the body. So
Right.
she had not 1, but 3 seizures. She went by ambulance to the hospital. The hospital calls the rehab place and says, yes, she's walked away. We don't know where she is. And so um, the rehab calls me and says, Hannah wants us to pick up. Oh, I just said her name. Oh well. Hannah wants us to pick her up, but we can't because she hasn't been medically discharged. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm in another state. I'm a minimum of 2.5 hours away. And where she's located, the nearest family member is an hour away. We purposely tried to pick a rehab that was not easy to get back to anything. Do you know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
so um, I'm like, okay, I can try and talk to her because I get she's an adult. You know what I mean? But so this is what I'm guessing. I'm thinking Hannah is leaving and doesn't want to be there anymore, and I'm panicking. But I'm also concerned because she's had 3 seizures, and I had talked to Hannah earlier that morning. She's allowed the phone at the rehab place. It's like a landline, and they are allowed, I think, 15 minutes. So I talked to her that morning, and she seemed a little confused. And so this is not uncommon also with her. She's had hallucinations. It's been really, and she's only 27. She's only 27, Rebrand. It's like, just breaks my heart that my daughter's going through this. Um, and so I call Hannah and I'm like, Hannah, you've got to get back to the ER. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's adamant she's been medically discharged. She's adamant. And I've got the hospital telling me that she's somewhere on the premises, but they don't know where. Well, how do you even know she's on the premises? It was freezing out. She did not have a winter coat. She is a confused individual. I was talking to Hannah on the phone. Now, at times she sounds really coherent, and that's part of this. This is part of, like, at least for alcohol, of what happens. Even when they're on alcohol, it's even worse. But even afterwards, being off of alcohol, there's still all of this confusion. The alcohol drains thiamine from the brain, and that part of the brain is responsible for, like, stability, speech. So she'll, like, slur her words, confusion, that kind of thing. And she's taking, they're giving her, like, thiamine to be taken each day, but it still takes time to, like, and honestly, I don't know if she's going to have some damage from the abuse of alcohol, and she's had a number of seizures, especially this last year. In 2025, she had quite a few. And so that is, like, concerning, but I'm thinking, why aren't they looking for her? Because she's not in her right mind, right? I mean, and they said she just walked away. It wasn't like she said she didn't want to be there. The nurse said she was there 1 minute. I turned around and she was gone. And I'm thinking, so she's like, Anna is so adamant that she's been medically discharged. She's like, I went to the front desk. I just grabbed the paperwork. I'm telling you, I'm sitting in the waiting room. So I called the emergency room, talked to an RN, and she's like, well, I can't tell you anything. I said, this is bullshit. I was so mad. I'm like, just give me something between the lines. I need to know if she's been medically discharged. Because if she has, then you guys need to be contacting the rehab center so that they can get transportation to get her back. Um, and if she hasn't been, then I need to know so I can try and talk her getting back into the ER. And she's like, well, what I can say is this: if you can get her back here, then we can take a look at her. We can assess her. So I took that as meaning she has not been medically discharged, and that is exactly what she meant at that moment. So I was like, okay, I am now really upset and panicking, and I'm trying to get back to Wisconsin. It was I've never experienced. I've had a lot of stress lately in the last few months with my husband's kidney cancer, my dad's surgery, and everything that's been going on with Hannah. But this was panic like I have never felt, thinking just really. awful scenarios that could be happening because we've seen the hallucinations get bad in Hannah. So I am thinking she thinks she's in the waiting room, but she's not really there. She's someplace else, but she's thinking this is where she is. So in the meantime, I call my other daughter and I beg her to like drop everything. She's the one that's got my two granddaughters and ask her to go to the hospital because I'm getting nowhere from the hospital. And I just feel like someone needs to be there advocating for my other daughter, Hannah, and I can't get there right now. And so I call my husband. I'm like, call security because at this point we have a vulnerable adult who is not in her right mind. And if they can't locate her, my next call is going to be to the police and I'm going to file a missing persons report because the temperatures were like below freezing that day. And she's got no coat, nothing. You know what I mean? And some of the times when she was a little confused, she's like, I'm just going to start walking. She doesn't even know where she's at. She's a good 20, 25 minutes from where the rehab center is, where the hospital is. She doesn't know where she's at. Like, so I was like, no, you need to go in. And when I told her her sister was coming, that made all the difference. Her and her sister are really close. She's like, oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I'm in the waiting room. I'll wait here until she gets here. Just tell her, call me and I'll come out. So I call back. So my husband calls security. Sorry, I'm trying to keep this in chronological order. And he's kind of funny. He's like, I'm pretty sure I made someone cry today because he was livid. He was hot. And basically said, if you don't find our daughter and something happens to her, we will own that hospital because this is crazy. This is a woman that has come in with 3 seizures. I don't care how coherent she might seem, but the fact that you guys have lost her and you're just acting like it's nonchalant, I'm not faulting that Hannah maybe walked away. So that nurse tells my husband everything. Now he's the stepdad. I'm glad she told him something, but I'm the mom and I can't be told jack shit when I call. But he calls and she's like, okay, after he said he was, we would own the hospital if something bad happens to her. She's like, she has been medically discharged and she is sitting in the waiting room. And when I had called to talk to the nurse, I said, Hannah says she's sitting in the waiting room right now. And she's like, no, she's not there. Hannah was there. Hannah was there the whole time. She had been medically discharged. We did this run around for almost an hour of getting this sorted. So then I had to call back to the rehab center and I was like, I'm not upset with the rehab center. They did nothing wrong. It was the hospital that called them and said, yeah, hey, just so you know, your patient's walked away and we don't know where she's at. And Hannah's calling them wanting to get a ride for transport. And they just stopped taking Hannah's calls because they thought she was just trying to leave the emergency room and not want to be seen. And that's not what the case was. So I'm not faulting the rehab center, but I called them back and I'm like, well, guess what? Poor Hannah, she's thinking, she told my daughter, she's like, I started to think maybe I was a little crazy because you guys are all telling me that I'm all confused. And I'm thinking I'm the only one that's with it right here. You guys are all confused. And so I'm like, she's been medically discharged. Can you guys do transport? Otherwise, my daughter is almost there. She could take her. But I know that there's like some protocols to that. They really want to be the ones to transport to make sure there's no stops, that that person hasn't ingested anything, that kind of thing. And that's what she said. She's like, no, we'll be the ones to pick her up. She said, I'm going to call the hospital just to verify this, and I will text you back to let you know what time someone is leaving. Because I said, I want to let Hannah aware, and I'll let my other daughter know. Um, because I debated on having my other daughter turn around at that point, but she's like, I'm only 20 minutes from the hospital. I am not leaving until I know Hannah is safe. So I was so appreciative of her doing that and just being able to put eyes on her to know she really was okay. But they never text me back. And to be fair, she probably got busy. She's calling the hospital. She's arranging transport. But Hannah tried calling them. They wouldn't answer the phone call. So no one knows anything again. And so when my daughter gets there, I gave her the phone number and she called and the lady got a little snippy. She's like, they're on their way. Well, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea the chaos and stress our family has just gone through in the last hour and a half of this shit show? And this could have ended really badly. This could have been deadly. She could have walked out of that hospital easily being confused, because here's the kicker. So I had to wait a couple of days before I could call and file a complaint because I was so upset with the hospital and how they just, she came in by ambulance, especially. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know how you lose someone when you have security and that's like part of their job, I don't know. Anyway, and I get like there's a balance. She's an adult. Does she not want to be seen? But that's not what this case was. She had been told she was medically discharged, but there was a breakdown of communication with the nurse who didn't think that she had been medically discharged and then called the rehab, who the rehab then called me. And then it caused this huge thing. So I'm trying to get back to Wisconsin. I'm like, I called Tara and told her, sorry, I cannot come and see you today. And she's like, I totally get it. No, no, go. But it took me forever to get back to Wisconsin because I had to keep pulling over. I was just too distracted to be able to talk on the phone and check messages, even though I can get them to read through the car. The messages were coming in so quickly. My car could not keep up with all the text messages and it was just my mom, my daughter, my husband, and myself all trying to it frustrates me that the family is trying to take care of the problem that the hospital should be trying to take care of the problem. Does that make sense? I know maybe I'm overreacting, but I don't think so. I'm really angry about it. So when I talked to Hannah yesterday, because I wanted to talk to her, because I felt like her assessment was quite quick if we're trying to do a timeline here. And I got the impression from the timeline that she basically got in there and they medically discharged her and didn't do anything. Like she was in and out of there in a half hour. She was there for an hour, so I found that out. But Hannah says to me, I go, Hannah, do you know what they ended up doing? Did they run labs or whatever? She's like, I don't know. I said, what do you mean? She's like, I have no memory. I don't have any memory of the seizures. I don't remember going by ambulance. I don't remember being in the emergency room. I don't remember talking to you. She's like, I have no idea what conversations you're talking about that we had. She said, the only thing I remember is when um, my other daughter got there. That she remembers, but everything else she has no memory of. So that's even like scarier. Like she really was not in her right mind and she was doing all the right things. And she was, bless her, she was so afraid the rehab center was going to give up her bed. She was just, that's how badly she wants the help right now. At least those Sundays, she really wanted the help, even if she wasn't in her right mind. And I appreciated that because she could have bailed. But if she's being confused, I could see she could have gotten in a car with someone thinking they're from the rehab center. She could have just gone somewhere and possibly drank again. I don't know. Like I'm just like I have to stop doing the what ifs because she's fine. But I did end up filing a complaint, and the lady was quite nice, and they're going to be transferring it to, I think she said, the leadership management or something, and I'll get a call back. I said the hospital caused all of this by lack of communication. My daughter was medically discharged. Someone didn't know that she had been discharged, and then that one phone call spouted off just a like I cannot express the stress that it caused for me. It was so bad. I was a complete wreck. And um my whole point is that it's because of us. Like kept calling back to the hospital, calling security, keeping in contact with, like, we pestered them enough where they finally had to do something. Because I told the woman, I said, if you guys don't find her, I'm calling the police next. Like, this is crazy. This is a vulnerable adult. I mean, based out, even if you want to take the alcoholism out of it, she came in having 3 seizures. There's a possibility she might have some confusion. You know what I'm saying? Which she absolutely did. So this is the debacle I'm talking about. I had to get it out. I've been trying to like let it go, but oh man, rebrand. It was a really horrible experience, and it frustrates me that I feel like in every situation, if I don't go with to an appointment, if I don't know, get on, be there. Like doctors don't take things seriously, and I'm just sick of that. I don't know. Okay, that's it. That was my vent.
Wow, is that it?
Yeah, I know that was a lot.
Wow.
But the good news is she's back at rehab, And I got to talk to her for 5 minutes yesterday. She sounded so good. And I just reminded her, like, I'm really proud of her. I am really hoping she ends up getting to stay the 90 days. She's there for 30 for sure, but I would like to see 90, at least 60, because I think she needs it. I think she really needs it. And they've got, it's a dual diagnosis place, which is good, which means they also address like mental health and stuff. And so I think that's really good because I think most people that struggle with addiction, there's something that they need to heal from for whatever reason. And I think mental health part can really help with that so that you kind of try to get to the crux of why someone wants to use, and they've got great aftercare programs. They've got sober living facilities. And so I just really hope she takes advantage of all of it. I'm just grateful she's there and she's safe. That looks really good, Rebrand.
Uh, that's underneath this space bar. Look at all that dust and dirt.
Oh, I see. I didn't see that part. Oh, gosh. I can't imagine what my keyboard must look like. I clean off the keys, but I know like stuff gets in between there and it's putsy trying to clean all of that stuff off.
Well, this is the this is the replacement. I'm afraid of what I'm going to see once I get this sucker out. Wow. So yeah, your daughter's going to need a lot of support when she gets out, and if she can get the full 60 days, that would be the best thing ever.
Oh, I know. I would really like to see her be there for 90 days, and I would like to see her go into sober living. And if she doesn't want to do sober living, then I'd like her to do an intensive outpatient program when she gets out. She just does not realize how bad she is because you're not in the right mind frame to even get it. She does not realize how damaged her body is. For her only being 27, it's bad. I'm going to have to make follow up appointments with specialists for her. Um, and she's going to have some issues a lifelong. She doesn't have cirrhosis or anything like that, but she is one step before that with something called MASH. It's MASH. I don't know a lot about it yet. I just have I don't have it in me. I'm a research girl for sure, but I don't have it in me to research it too in depth right now because I'm afraid it's going to really I'm not in the right mental state at this point to go
Well, you
further into
you got a little bit of time, but not a lot of time because beds
it.
in the
Yep.
space fills up fast.
Well, and the thing is that part of me trying to make her any appointments right now with a specialist is with her in rehab. I don't know how long she's going to be there.
Right.
So,
Said you don't have a lot. You have. That's why I said you have a little bit of time, but not a lot.
right. So I am going to, in the meantime, I'm going to reach out to her primary care doctor and just ask for a couple of recommendations of doctors that they think would be good for her to see. Um, and then I'll research those doctors and then see if I find them to be okay. And then I can set up an appointment. Even if I set up an appointment where if I think she might be there the 90 days, I'll set it up for after that. Because regardless of after, if she is there for 90 days, after that, she'd have to go to either sober living or she'd come back home. And even if she's in sober living, I could still take her to the appointment, is my point. You know what I mean? I can take her out to take her to the appointment. I can't do that when she's inpatient. So, and I get why that. I mean, maybe they would take her, but I doubt it.
This is
So,
what the inside of the keyboard looks like.
holy cow. I gotta put
Yeah,
my,
this all peels up.
oh, no way.
Yeah, this all peels up. It's light silicone,
And that's
and
what makes the keys like squishy.
yeah, yeah, and all the electronics are underneath that.
We're doing an autopsy on a keyboard.
Basically, yeah.
And I don't know if she's in chat or if she's eating lunch because I can't see the chat from, I'm on my phone and I can't see the chat. I can only see the backstage. I don't know how to get to the chat.
She last posted at 3:19 and said she's had to make a few threats this week. You know what? Let me can you see the comments on the stage now?
Hold on, I gotta go grab my readers because I'm blind without them. But then, yes, I'll be able to see them.
She just made a comment, so I just put it so that the comments show up on the stage, so they should show up.
Okay, thanks. Do you know what I did with my readers, babe?
See, all you have to do is say something. Ask, and I shall deliver if I can.
I'm gonna have to grab my extra ones. I swear to God, I lose my head some days.
She can come up on stage so she can talk while she's working if she wants to, or if she's able to. But I know she's busy and has her hands in a million other things, and she's got a toddler in the house to work with too, so that probably isn't feasible right now. She gave a lot of time on chat today, already on a live today, so it wasn't fair for me to say that. Oh man, there's pine needles under here. How the hell did they get a pine needle on the inside of her keyboard guts? Jesus, take the wheel. Okay, let me set that up here where the cats won't jump on it. Stay down. Okay, this is absolutely filthy. Absolutely filthy. Do you think that before you sell something, that you try to clean it up a little bit? Gross. Gross of window. Ow, my hands are ice cold now. This is going to take me forever. You should see, I put a piece of leather down on my lap. I'm going to have to vacuum again from all the shit that just came out of here and fell onto the leather on my lap. This is absolutely gross. The cooties that came out of this keyboard. Absolutely disgusting. Of course, I'm not going to tell you what came out of my keyboard when I framed it because mine was spotless. Yeah, we won't talk about that eye roll I just gave. But I don't think mine was as bad. I had a lot of dust, cat hair, but it wasn't like this. This is insane. Wish me luck for not breaking it at this point because I don't have two busted keyboards. be more with. No, I didn't kick Curls. I thought she said she'd be right back. She's not up on the back stage, and she has the link, so wherever she went, she'll be right back. I didn't kick anybody. Maybe her phone died. She'll be back. I didn't kick anybody. But I'm glad I looked up and saw that you said that. So I'll keep an eye on the screen. So I can watch for when she comes back. As I'm cleaning here. I got a lot more keys to clean now. A lot of keys to clean. This is disgusting. Even when I was cleaning my keys from my keyboard, I knew what I was cleaning. I was cleaning my dirt. Now I'm cleaning somebody else's dirt, so this kind of feels super gross. Kind of feels extra gross. I'm cleaning somebody else's chicken nuggets or something. Well, that just made it more gross thinking of it that way. I wonder if I put the vacuum on this first. No. Afraid I'll break something if I do that. You know what though? I should take these keys off first. This way I'm not accidentally cleaning more than I need to. That's probably a good idea. No use being redundant. There's that one. There's this one. Oops. Oopsie. It's never good to say oopsie. I'm working on electronics. Bad word, bad word. I guess nobody else wanted to learn how to do a keyboard. I don't know why. This is groundbreaking shit here. Groundbreaking information. Sorry. They'll be sorry someday that they weren't here to learn how to do this. Mark me. You heard from me first. They'll be sorry. There we go. Oops, there it is. Oop, there it is. And she's back. I'm getting good at hearing these beeps. You're back. You're back. I missed you.
To each of their own on if they believe about paranormal or not. I try to be a good skeptic, but I do believe there's things out there that we cannot explain. All right. And I felt that with my nephew's house that he lives at with his mom for a really long time. Well, he's the only one in the house and he's not slept in three. He's coming to my house tonight. This is how bad it's gotten. I can hardly wait to see the video proof
Wait
because
a
it's got
second.
video proof of this.
Wait a second. You've been gone for 5 minutes and I have no idea what you're starting in on.
Okay. So, sorry. I was talking to my nephew and he's like, I got to tell you what's going on. I'm wondering if I can come stay at your house for a couple of days because they have a priest coming to the house on Friday because the activity in the house has gotten so bad, paranormal activity, that he's terrified. And he's got video proof of this, of the cabinets opening and closing, the pictures, the growling. He said at 2 o'clock in the morning he was woken up last night, and and everyone's out of town. Okay, his mom and his stepdad are in Florida on vacation. His sister is on vacation somewhere else, so he's the only one in the house besides his dog. And so he said that he had his bedroom door closed, and it sounded like someone was banging on it so loud, jiggling the door handle, and they did that. He said he was so scared he just sat there and cried. He said it was just terrifying, and that went on for almost 40 minutes before it stopped. And once it stopped, he grabbed his keys, he grabbed his dog, and he left the house. And he went and slept in his car until he had to go to work today. So they are in talks with a pastor and a priest right now. I don't know if they're going to just come try to bless the house or what, but there's been activity that's been going on for a while in that house. And it seems to be amping up, and it amps up a lot around my nephew. It always has. I feel like he's a trigger of it, and I really encouraged him to move out. He's an adult now. Granted, he's a young adult, but I'm like, you need to get your own space because this house, for whatever reason, does not seem to like you. So yeah, that's why I had to bump off. I'm sorry.
Alrighty then. Okay, yeah, you threw me off because we went from
I know. I'm sorry. I'm
yeah,
like sidetrack Sally, and I just go woo, and I just assume everyone's supposed to know what the heck I'm talking about. So I apologize for
yeah. Oh, I'm not going to argue with you on that point.
that. Yeah, I just feel like I am on max levels. I don't know how to get myself to like come back down lately. I know I'm always like a little wound up, but it's extra wound up especially the last week.
Oh, you know what? Chatting with friends can do wonders for you. So chat away.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree. And I have not been able to do that much. I've been so busy with, everything that's been going on in the family with hubby and stuff that I just have not had time to really keep up with, connecting with others. I try, but it's not been great because I'm so exhausted, or I'm just mentally spent and I have nothing. You know what I mean? It's like I'm numb and just I shut down for a little while. So it's like one or the other. I'm either at 100 or I feel like I'm at about a 10.
Well, things are bad. As women, we tend to forget to take care of ourselves.
I have been trying to make a point of every day. I really enjoy doing like my skincare routine, but I've been trying to do like one extra thing. So like maybe I do a face mask one day, maybe I do an exfoliating scrub one day, something like that, because it's something that really calms me. And I spend like a half hour, 45 minutes, really taking my time to do it. And that's what I spend my night with. And that's really been helping. Um, Last night I did. I have to ask B about this if she likes the Trend Mood eye patches because I'm not a fan. I don't think that they're very moisturizing. And I'm wondering if I should put my own like serum and then put the little iPads on. I don't know. I don't know anything about these iPads. I don't do them very often, but it came in our trend mood box, and it's like they stick on underneath the eye. But normally afterwards, when you pull it off, there's like extra serum and stuff that you can kind of pat in, around your eye, and there's nothing. It's just dry.
I don't do any of those. I don't. I should, but I
You're
don't.
gonna have to let me know if B does answer, because even with my readers, I can't read the chat, and it's not that big a deal. It's truly not. It's just, I think it's just you, me, and B right now. So if she says something, you
She
can
said.
relay the message to me.
She said, "I'm listening." She looked up and you vanished to take care of
Yeah.
some normal activity.
Well, you're right. Well, because I'm on my phone, when he called, it bumped me out right away.
Got
Um, so it's not like I could even decline the call, or you know what I'm saying? Because that's
yeah.
probably what I would have done. I would have declined the call and just called him later. Because I was
I
actually surprised.
phone my. I said I think I said your phone may have died or something because I didn't get
Oh
any.
yeah, and that would have been a good assumption. Except no, this was all about paranormal weirdness going on in his house.
Well, I said I'm sure you'd be back because you had the link. So I didn't think that you just dissed us or intentionally or anything. And I knew I
Yeah,
didn't
no.
set you up because you were doing the talking.
So how's the keyboard coming? Did you get? What are you doing now?
I am cleaning out these nasty, disgusting keys. I took out the faded out.
Okay.
Yeah, you could see these are the keys that I took out. You could see that it's missing some of the letters. They're worn
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
So, yeah, so I took those out. That was the one side. And this is the other side. You can see it's missing the keys.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's why I took it out because mine on my busted one, it has all the letters on there. So that's what I'm replacing it with.
Oh, that's a great. See, this is a great idea. I know you said something about swapping out the keys. I thought you just meant swapping out the keyboard. I'm not very technology smart, so I just assumed that's kind of like what you were talking about.
Um, Actually, you know what? That would have been the easiest thing. Why didn't you mention that a long time ago? That would have been the easiest thing to do. I could have done that. I could have done that.
Uh,
That would
sorry,
have
I
been,
just mentioned.
yeah, that would have been the easiest thing to do because uh, there's nothing wrong with my whole keyboard. And there's no reason that I couldn't have just done that.
Right.
Yeah, wow, that would have been brilliant. But where would have been
Yeah,
the
but
fun?
you still only spend $30, and let me tell you, that is a great freaking deal. That is like deal of the day. I can't believe they want $400. What does the keyboard do for $400? Will it type for you for that price?
I think it does. I think this will actually, if I hit the right button combination, I think it will actually type the whole document for me if I just think of what I want to say. I just haven't figured out the right combination.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking, why didn't I just switch out the top of the keyboard? Wow, wow, I love making things difficult for myself. Actually, you know what? No, because I'm sitting here. I'm still cleaning out. Whoever had this before, I'm still cleaning out part of their chicken nuggets that they ate 20 years ago. Uh,
Ew.
yeah, this keyboard's pretty disgusting. There's a lot of grimy, yeah, nasty shit in here. So yeah, I should have just switched it out with the whole rest of my other.
Well, I would hold on to your other keyboard, and that way, if something happens with this one, then you've got an extra if you think.
You know what? No. Um, now that I'm thinking about it, I would have had a lot of cleaning up. This is my old keyboard.
Okay.
From whatever I spilled on it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's the whole reason why you needed to get a new keyboard, right? Okay.
yeah. I would have a well. I would have deserved to clean up, but a lot of stickiness on these keys. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's other than other than just a lot of cleaning up to get the stickiness off these. And actually, I could have just ran this through the shower and rinsed all these keys off in hot water, and then sat there and let it dry for a good week. There's nothing electronic in the actual keyboard. That's what I should have done. That would have been the easiest thing to do. But that wouldn't have made for an interesting video, and we wouldn't have had a reason to sit here and talk about what's going on with your daughter and paranormal shit. So
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I'm
and
keeping your live interesting with random topics.
and you wouldn't have had a chance to or the opportunity to de-stress.
Oh, and the thing is, I have talked to, a few people about this, and I'm still heated by it. It's like I just need to keep reminding myself she's safe, she's okay, everything's good. I I just don't want to see this happen to someone else. I feel like you have to be careful with. I get there's like where people as adults have the freedom to choose being seen, but when you've got someone that's in a confused state, that's maybe not thinking clearly, I don't know what the right answer is, but at least try to keep them safe until like a family member could come and talk to them or something. I don't. And what happens if a family member wasn't available? What happens if we would have not? What happens if Hannah had no one? What would they have done then? She would. I don't know how long she would have had to sit at that hospital before someone would have realized what was going on with her.
I don't know what the answer to that is because
I know. I
they have
know.
limited liability and
Hmm.
they have limited amount of gives a fuck.
I know. It's just, I guess it would have been nice if she would have, like, all she had to do was check the computer or the doctor's notes. I don't know which one, because what had happened is the doctor told Hannah she was being discharged and she was free to go. She took that as going out to the waiting room. That's what she did. This is what I'm told by staff. So, from what staff said and from what I talked to with the administrative lady, is that she walked out into the waiting room, waiting, then like call for transport from the rehab place. And somehow the nurse that was looking over um, Hannah did not know that the doctor had discharged her and thought Hannah just walked away. But did she take any time to even look for her? Because I don't think she did, because she was sitting in the waiting room the entire time. So I don't know. I just feel like there was some laziness and like caused a lot of stress for zero reason. Did not, none of this needed to happen. And okay, I'm going to stop talking about it now because I'm just going to keep repeating myself. So what did, I know it's been a couple weeks now, almost a couple weeks, but did you do anything for New Year's Eve?
Nope, just another day for me.
Yeah, usually we have the granddaughters, but because of hubby's surgery, we just weren't sure if that was a good idea. So I told my daughter like a while back, make other arrangements, if you guys want to do something, because I don't think we're going to take the girls this year. And then my dad always comes down. He comes down Christmas Day because we go to my mom's Christmas Eve. So my dad normally comes down Christmas Day and then he spends the week with us and leaves like the first or the second. Well, he came down the 25th, but he was only able to stay for a couple of days because he had brought the Lexus down because all of us had looked. There was no snow, not even a flurry in the forecast for like the whole week. I hate the weather people sometimes. Well, he gets a notification that where he lives, which is about 5, 6 hours north of us, that they're getting like majorly dumped. And he's like, I'm not going to be able to drive the Lexus in that kind of snow. even if it's like cleaned up, the way that the roads get up there, they're literally snow covered. Even if they plow them, they're still snow covered because they get such a massive amount of snow and ice and whatever else. So he ended up having to go back early, and he kept sending us pictures. He's got a yardstick on his deck. And so, and the snow builds up, like on the banister or whatever. So he's got a yardstick nailed to that so we can see how much snow he's getting. And he ended up with a total of 17 inches. It was insane. And it was icy. And then they got dumped on the next day with a few more inches. And then 2 days later, they got another 4 inches. So he's like, I'm sick of snow already. Like, yeah, I would be too.
I was in Wisconsin the week before Christmas back in 2000 and I think it was 2006. That was when I transferred to a different branch of my agency. They sent me there for a week of training. I thought they liked me.
Well, do you remember where in Wisconsin you went?
What's that?
Do you remember where in Wisconsin you were sent?
I spent, I spent 24 hours in Eau Claire. That was
that's
cool.
actually, that's a nice town.
Oh yeah,
it's beautiful.
Because one of my Marine Corps buddies actually lived there, so I actually had dinner with her and her daughter, and that's that's a thing that surprised my employer because everywhere they sent me, I had some of my Marine Corps buddies that lived there, so everywhere they ended up sending me.
That's so cool.
Oh yeah, everywhere they ended up sending me. This happened throughout my entire career. I was always able to meet up and have dinner with my Marine Corps buddies, and even up through the end, when everything was going to shit, that was pissing them off because I was always able to meet up with my Marine Corps buddies. They're trying to make my life a living hell, but I was still meeting up and having meals with my Marine Corps buddies, and they couldn't fuck with me as bad as they wanted to because I'm still meeting up and having meals with my Marine Corps buddies, and I made sure they knew it.
So were they trying to get you to quit or what?
Yeah, my supervisor had ordered us to do something that was a civil rights violation. And it caused a major fiasco. And the simplest way for them to cover it up was to make me their scapegoat. And which they did.
Wow, I am so sorry. That's BS.
Oh yeah, it was. And what they wanted to do is they couldn't fire me over it because it was too well documented that I did as I was ordered to do.
Right.
And I had video proof, I had written proof, I had documented proof. So they couldn't fire me for it. So they were doing everything they could to get me to quit.
I just don't understand that kind of rationale within. I just don't understand people.
Well, this is the federal government, but anyway, they did everything.
Oh well.
They did everything.
Okay.
They did everything they could to get me to quit. Okay. And
federal government. Swear to God.
I'm a Marine.
Yeah, they messed with the wrong woman. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I fought it, and in the process, it destroyed my physical health, and it did a number of my mental health.
Oh, I'm sorry. And, I can imagine.
Well, it is what it is,
but it's still not right. It's still not okay,
No, it's not okay. But I fought it and fought it and fought it, and in the end, I did end up getting terminated. And
what?
No, I did end up getting terminated for something else.
That
they turned into a forced retirement. So
they were looking for any reason to get you out. So it could have been a minor thing, and they were going to twist that to make it look like,
Oh, but it got turned into a
But I
first.
don't understand why they wanted to get you just so they could say, yeah, we got rid of the one that was responsible. Is that like what their goal was? Or
Well, yeah, in my local community, they 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 um they tried to do that, um, to get me out of my local community where the civil rights violation happened, which is where I still live, by the way. Oh yeah, but yeah, yeah,
interesting.
yeah, it was pretty fucking brutal. But uh, so
How long ago was this rebrand?
um, the last time I worked was in 2012,
Oh, wow.
and
Would you still be working now, you think? Or would you have already retired?
oh, I'd still be working. I'm only 58.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I thought you were, uh, actually, I thought you were about the same age as me. I'm 54, so we're pretty close. So,
Yeah, I'd still be working, but it ended up being turned into a uh, uh, a retirement. Because I still fought it, even after the termination. I still fought it,
yeah.
and OPM ended up turning it into because of the way it worked out. OPM ended up turning it into a retirement for PTSD, and then because I still kept fighting it, and with the way everything happened, I lost my insurance, I lost everything,
Uh,
and then and then I went to the VA, and the VA looked at everything, and they figured out that I've had PTSD even before that, and then the VA turned it into a that I was a PTSD vet, so you know
have you had to do any treatment for that? Or do you manage it yourself?
oh I
I'm not trying to get too, if I'm too personal, please just say I don't want to talk about that.
I did everything that I took, every course, everything that the VA had for PTSD vets. I did everything the VA had, and I'm now officially a PTSD veteran.
Do you
So it.
still do you talk to other veterans at all?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm deeply involved with the veterans community.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got that impression from you that you're and
yeah.
I really respect that. I really respect everything that you've done. And I respect any service people, but I would have a little soft spot being a woman, have seen another female kick some ass out there for us.
Yeah. So it's just kind of funny how things turned out, because if they wouldn't have if they wouldn't have done what they did, I never would have
But
realized
that you
that.
had PTSD.
I mean, anybody who knows me knows that there was always something off since I came out of the military.
Yeah.
We always knew there was something off, but we never knew what it was.
When did you get out of the military?
I got out in 90,
Okay.
and it finally took
So
finding
this
a.
has been a long time of brewing.
Oh yeah, and with getting finally getting a good therapist, and I don't know why my voice is so
Yeah.
strange, but finally getting a good therapist and going through everything, it's like I've been on that PTSD bus for a long time, and it took
Good for
one.
you, because I know that that can be hard just for people to wanna get help. And I feel like sometimes our military are hesitant to do it because you're built to be unstoppable. You know what I mean? Unstoppable, and that you're supposed to brave through anything and you fight through anything and you fight
You're
through
built
the
to
pain.
suck it up. You're built to suck it up and deal with it, and that's what I've
Right,
always. And
right.
once I got in with the therapist, we, and was willing to open up, and that was no easy task. Let me
Oh,
tell
I
you,
can't imagine. I can't imagine.
because it's like, yeah, Marines don't talk about that shit.
Well, and that's why I think it's so important for people like yourself to advocate. And I like that we are seeing a lot more talk about that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because we expect so much from our military and we don't realize what it does to the psyche for them. And because the way that you're trained, it is, you just suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. That it is, I would think anyway, at least this seems to be, that it's been difficult to say, I might need help with this because you're trying to just suck it up the way that you've been trained, but your brain's going, yeah, no, we're checked out and you've got to address this now.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. But once I started opening up to the therapist, you know, and again, that was no easy thing. We started looking at different events and was able to pin down, a timeline. It's like, these instances where you have, certain difficulties, it always happens at this time. We were able to narrow things down,
Really?
and then she's like, what
That's
happened?
interesting.
Yeah, and then she's like, what happened at this time of year? What happened? And that's when I was able to finally come on and admit, the essay that I always kept hidden. I never told. I never, I,
Oh,
I, I had never reported it. I report, I had reported it, but not reported it. If
yes,
that
I
makes
know what you
sense.
mean. Yep, I
You
know what you
know,
mean.
I had, that was one of those, back in the 80s,
Oh,
we didn't report those things, because it just didn't work. We didn't come out and talk about those things because, you know, we just didn't,
well, and
know.
especially back then, as a woman, if you did, then it it's almost like the woman got shamed and belittled, and most of the time ended up leaving, even though they're the ones that they were victimized. You know what I mean?
I
At
was
least that's.
military police. My perpetrator was a military policeman in my
Ugh,
unit.
oh my gosh,
That was not going to go well.
no. Oh, I am really sorry. I just feel like I'm saying sorry a lot, but I have my own essay story, and it's uh, I swallowed that down for a really long time. It didn't come back up until my 30s, and that was when I was after I was diagnosed in 2000 with my illness, and a couple of years into it, I was doing mass doses of prednisone. I had done 6 months of oral chemo, and then I had done a year of IV chemo. And I was so sick. I mean, I was sicker than I had been before I was diagnosed, and went through a really severe depression. Um, just because I was trying to stay so positive that I'm gonna overcome this stupid illness, and I'm gonna do it with a smile on my face. And it just came to a point where I was so sick and so beat down that I had nothing left. And it wasn't until I went into inpatient for depression that that topic came up. And I didn't even realize it was still even there because I'm just focused on my illness. But it is odd sometimes how some of these things come up. But that's when I was really, when I hadn't talked to a professional since I was like in my late teens, early 20s. And so it's like I really like this person. And it was just all of a sudden a floodgate opened up. And I mean, it took me a week before I really opened up. But once I did, and as you can tell, I like to talk, I didn't shut up for a while, just getting everything out that I realized from my past. There's a few incidents, but like not trauma, but incidents that still were like impactful on me. You know what I mean? That I had to let go and I had to learn to heal. And I did not know how to do any of that. I just did not know how to accept some things. I did not know. My biggest thing was accept like what was going on with my illness, and that I had no control over my body and feeling so out of control. So I had to learn like things that I do have control over, even like really minor things. You still have control over some things. And so it's not like you're losing all control, but that's where your mind goes. Like you just, especially when your body's failing you, you know. I really didn't think I would still be here, especially 25 years later. They did not think I would make it to age 35. They said, if you're lucky, maybe 40. And here I am, 54. So I feel incredibly lucky and blessed. And I'm also grateful that I did the work for the depression. It took me 3 years of intensive therapy to really get through everything. I was going through an ugly divorce on top of it at the time, and he was trying to get full custody of the kids. And that just about broke me going through that whole divorce process. And the divorce took almost 3 years because this mother effer kept dragging things out. It was ridiculous. So
Yeah.
I think he was trying to financially break me, and he would have if it weren't for my family helping me out to help pay my attorney fees because the fees were ridiculous. I mean, this was 20 years ago, a little over 20 years ago, because I've been with Paul for 20 years. So I would say maybe 23 years ago ish. It doesn't matter. But at that time, my attorney fees I had to get two different attorneys because the first attorney wasn't a trial attorney because we didn't think it was going to go to trial, but it ended up going to trial. So I had to get a trial attorney. So the attorney fees in total was almost $47,000. And then we had to pay the guardian ad litem, and that fee was like 20,000. So it was really costly for a divorce that had nothing. The only thing that we were like not in agreement with was the kids. And as much as I didn't want to do 50-50, I was willing to compromise on that. He didn't want that. He wanted full placement. And and so he dragged it out. And then I guess what it ended up being 50-50. All of
Yeah.
that just to have the same freaking result and be almost $100,000 in debt over it. You know what I mean? Well, maybe not 170,000 in debt. It's ridiculous.
My ex held up our divorce for 4 years because it was a control issue.
Yes,
And,
and that's
and,
how exactly how I felt. Yes.
and he used the kids to fight.
Yep.
He didn't want custody. He didn't want custody. He would tell the kid, he would reduce his visitation and tell the kids that I did it.
Okay, I
Every
didn't have that. Luckily, I didn't have that. I will say my ex, regardless of my feelings, he's been a good dad, and he's been, I mean, a loving dad. I don't know if I want to say good. He's tried his hardest. I will say that, and he's always been active. He's gone to all of our functions. You know, he's um, active in her life. So I'm grateful for that. So I didn't have that problem, but it was just like he didn't want to give me anything if it was my idea. Like it just felt like because we were ready to finalize the first divorce. We were a week out. And at the time, the arrangement was I was going to have full placement. And then he changed his mind. And I said, okay. I said, well, what about 50-50? He's like, nope, I want full placement. You shouldn't have these kids. And really, it was only one kid because my other child is not legally his. You know what I mean? He's been in her life a really long time, but he doesn't have any legal, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not guardianship or adopted her or anything like that. So, but he said no, he wanted full placement. And so it got dragged out for a little over another 2 years after that. And thousands of dollars later, when we could have just settled it and been done. Like we could have still kept the same court date for Pete's sakes. And here's the funny thing is that when the divorce was finalized, it was on my birthday. It was the best birthday gift I had ever received because I just wanted to be done with it. I felt like I couldn't move on while this divorce was still lingering, you know? And I
Yeah.
met my hubby, let's see, July, August. I met him 3 months after my divorce was finalized.
Yeah, my ex, I think we were separated for a year, and he was already moved in with his girlfriend, living
Oh,
with
mine was already seeing someone and
her.
moved in with her.
She had a
Yeah,
condo, so he moved in with her. You know, he's living with her. You know, I could care less because the boys only talk nice about her. She was a school teacher. The boys talk
yeah,
nice about her, and I'm like, you know, hey, you know, as long as somebody else is around, I know the boys are safe. You know, I have
right.
no problem with that. But he still held up the divorce for 4 years because it was a control issue. That's all it was a control issue, you know,
I,
and
well, and I didn't understand it because I had found out he was having seen someone. And then it started off with him just wanting us to separate and that we were doing marriage counseling. Well, I went to marriage counseling, but I went by myself because he always had an excuse of why he couldn't come. And he said he was moving in with a couple of his guy friends, and I just had this feeling something was off. Like, call it woman's intuition. So I called the friends up and I said, "Listen, I'm not trying to put you guys in the middle. I just need to know if he's staying there because I don't think he is, and I want to know like where the kids are going when he takes them." And our friend said he hasn't been here one night, so I knew he was staying with um, the girlfriend or whatever you want to call her. And then the kids busted him out that he had taken them to the circus, brought the girlfriend, and they came. And this was just sick because, especially my youngest daughter, Hannah, she was 3 at the time. And she's like, Daddy's friend is nice. And they were holding hands. And then she giggles and she's like, and then they kissed. What? You guys, you it, it, he did some really messed up stuff, and all I did, honestly, was get sick. That was my crime. Could I have handled being diagnosed with a life-threatening illness better? Sure. But I was going through it, trying to manage it the best that I could. And yeah, I could have maybe done things differently, but I don't know how I could have done much better than what I was doing because I was barely surviving. I was that sick, and he just did not get the seriousness of it. And I don't even fault him that he didn't want to deal with it and that he wanted to step out because 50% of marriages or relationships do not survive a a serious diagnosis like that of some sort. They just don't. And so I would have been fine with like if he just wanted out, but no, he said awful things about me and made me out to be like the worst person. And that really that was one of the things that I had to like deal with in therapy because I just didn't understand how he could think such awful things about me. And she had to remind me he doesn't think these things. Some of this is guilt, some of how he handled this. He think about it. He had an affair on a very sick wife and then leaves her a very sick wife. And like I know a lot of his guy friends, he had a really close group of them and I had multiple of them calling me up and apologizing for his actions. I'm like, okay, I appreciate you guys like being concerned, but please don't apologize for him because this is on him and I can't do anything to change it. I just want to like get this over with and move on. And he just did not want to do that. He just wanted to drag it out. So yeah. Boy, we've had a gamut of topics today.
my only hope, you know what? I don't deal with my ex-husband. I don't have to anymore. My kids are grown. You know, my only hope is the son of a bitch got his citizenship thanks to me. He's Venezuelan.
Oh, okay.
He works at the Pentagon now. My
Oh,
my only hope is that uh, his citizenship is revoked because he's Venezuelan. and they ship his ass back to Venezuela with everything that's going on.
Okay, but how do you? So is he must be on a work visa then, right?
No, he has a citizenship thanks to me.
Oh, but since you guys aren't together anymore, okay. Does that mean the citizenship is not good anymore if you're not married to the person? I'm confused.
No, his citizenship is still good. He did the testing when we were still married, living in Hawaii.
Okay,
Took the citizenship.
okay.
He's a citizen. He's been a citizen a long time. And when he got the job at the Pentagon, they had to interview me, and they knew it was going to be a hot interview because of we had a bad divorce.
Yes.
And yeah, I told him what a scumbag he is, and he's violent and everything else. But the last question they asked me, it's like I'm not lying during the interview, but the last question they asked me is, do you think he's a good worker? And I couldn't lie about that. I'm like,
Yeah.
he is a good worker. You know, he'll do a good job.
Well, and
I couldn't. I'm not going to lie.
no,
he's a domestic
that's
abuser.
because you've got, oh, I didn't know that. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. I had restraining orders out the ass. He's a domestic
Oh,
abuser.
so yours was way more of a control thing than what I was like. I
Yeah.
didn't have like that. Oh, I totally get what you're saying now. Oh,
Yeah. He's got that hot Venezuelan temper, but
ooh,
he's a good worker. I could not deny that fact. And yep, they ended up hiring him. He works at the Pentagon. And as far as I know, he still works. He's what, 63, 64, 63 now. 60, yeah, because he's 5 years older than me. So he's 63 now.
well, I talked to my ex for the first time about 2 months ago.
I could, I could
In
put social on
10
the
years.
I could
In
put a
10
social
years.
on the web.
Say that again.
I said I could put a social on the black web. Oh, I didn't just
And because I had made the decision when Hannah turned 18, he was just still always calling and just yelling at me. And it's like, our daughter is now 18 and stop it. So I sent out like a group message, and I sent it to him, his wife, because now he's married to her. I sent it to my husband. I sent it to my parents, his parents, and my husband. So everyone was CC'd in on it, so that I wanted people to know exactly what I said. I did not want him spinning something because he does that. And my message was, I no longer am going to communicate with you unless it is a medical emergency. I refuse to have any more communication with you. All it is a battle, and I'm done. I'm sick of it. Our daughter's 18, so if you have an issue, talk to your doctor directly.
hold
And
on,
that's how I left it.
curls. Hold on a second. Hey Terry, sorry, I just looked up and saw you here. Sorry.
Oh,
Not exactly.
Terry's in the chat. Hi, Terry. I can't
Yeah,
see the chat, Terry. Sorry.
yeah, sorry. I'm working on the keyboard and just happened to glance up and saw you. So sorry about that. So yeah, if you're still here, say something. I'm just about finishing up the keyboard. I'm just screwing the bazillion fucking screws together. Oops, sorry. I gotta stop swearing.
Oh, I call myself the cussing Christian because I enjoy cursing. I do. I like a good F bomb. It just makes me feel good sometimes saying it.
It does something to the algorithm when you swear too much.
Yeah, I know it does. And I think I curse too. I apologize and try to bite my tongue and use other words.
Oh, I'm not adverse to swearing, but I've got to get my watch hours up and everything so I could do some members live and eventually
Yes.
get some members live going so I could you know talk about whoever I want, however I want, whenever I want. Not that I expect to get any memberships much, but should I
Oh,
feel
I'll be a member. I'll be a member.
yeah, should I feel so compelled, I would like to have that option if I would like. So, I mean, I don't know if I want to, but I want to have that option.
I think that's great. And
So,
I need to like go back and watch the first video that you and B did talking about beans so I can get the baseline of it, of like why you guys started the whole bean thing. Because how did it come about? Can you tell me? Like, why did you decide like beans is the thing that everyone needs to be eating?
uh, that was B's decision.
Oh, that was B. Okay.
That was all B's thing to turn my ass into the Trans Siberian Orchestra.
Oh, that's good. Well, because I'm curious about it because the diet that they want my hubby to do is called the DASH diet, DASH, and um, and like a culture shock for him because he is like a meat and potatoes, like you know, he loves his ham sandwiches, and it's not that he can't do ham, but I have to buy like what I've been doing is just buying like a whole round uncured ham and then I slice it thinly myself because when he goes back to work, he normally eats 2 to 3 sandwiches throughout the day. Like he has one for breakfast on the drive there, and then he eats two for lunch. And so I'm like, you can have bread, but it's got to be whole grains. But one of the big things and I never say the word, so I'm just going to say beans, but legumes, legume, yeah, legumes. That's it. But there's a lot of recipes that they have because I bought a Dash Diet cookbook, um, and I swear there's some type of that in just about every recipe, and I don't mind it. I just didn't know like why she started it. If there was like scientific, like a medical reason, is there like it's supposed to help with your diet? Is it supposed to give you energy, or is it like that's what I wanted to know the benefit? Like, what's the benefit of it?
Oh, legumes are very good for you, which is basically any bean,
Right.
lentil,
Yep.
pea. They're very good for you.
I
They're
love
very,
them.
yeah, they're
He's
they're
like,
they're very good for you. They're healthy. If you're trying to lose weight, they're filling. They're full of fiber.
yeah, see,
There's
I
just,
would like to lose some weight.
yeah, there's just tons of reasons to eat them.
I know I
The
need to incorporate them more because he really needs them. It's a good source of protein, right? Don't beans have protein in it?
Yeah, they're loaded with protein. There's a tons of other vitamins and minerals in them. There's a tons of reasons to eat beans.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's tons of ways to cook them. There's tons of varieties. Yada yada yada. I love beans. I cracked a joke about the Trans Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah,
I was I
that was
was eating.
hilarious.
No, I eat a lot of beans. I had said earlier in Bees Live that I think I just had I was trying so many different things with the butter beans. I think I just developed a little bit of a sensitivity to them. It might
Oh,
it might just be the one variety I was trying. It might be just one brand that I was trying because that can
I don't
happen.
know if I've ever had butter beans, but I have to say, some of the streams that I saw where you had butter beans, it looked really yummy. That one recipe, I don't know what you had made, but that looked delicious. Whatever like you did it in the air fryer, I think. Maybe I got that mixed up. I
Which
don't know
one?
what you did with it. I don't know what recipe it was, but it was really good. It looked so good. I was like, and you're like, yeah, these are butter beans. And I was like, I've heard of a butter bean. I don't think I've ever eaten a butter bean.
It was B that found the air quotes butter beans, but
Oh, okay.
B said TikTok made her do it. She saw something on TikTok, but
Oh, TikTok influence. Yes, yes.
yeah, but the sensitivity I was getting, it may have just been the one variety that I tried, one brand name, or not so much variety, but the brand name, and it just it
Okay.
Yeah, because I think I used a canned bean for one thing, and it may have just been that one because I had eaten a bunch, that were that I made from dry, and I had no reaction, nothing. And then I think
I
I
was going
had
to ask you, do you think like there's a difference between canned and dry and
there.
or not
Yeah,
really?
well, I think you're always better off starting from dry because
Okay, that's what I thought too.
it's cheaper and more cost effective. But
Right.
I think I had used some canned because I think I was trying something. I don't remember what it was exactly at this point. And then all of a sudden, yeah, I think it was a competition between Trans Siberian and the Philharmonic going on. It was bad, and
So
it
it's
it
a good thing we weren't like around you during that time period.
uh, no it wasn't like that. It wasn't
Okay,
it wasn't an
you were
odorous.
just noisy.
It was and it was painful.
Oh no, so you over fed the system of beans.
And it just lasted for days.
No, really. Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah, and it was like that was something else. The only good thing about it is with the amount of rumbling and grumbling that was going on the inside is it I would think that it helped vibrate anything that was loose in my colon. So it helped with a colon cleanse at the same time. But I would prefer not to repeat that colon cleanse anytime.
Yeah, it'll be the new popular colon cleanse out there.
Well,
You
I'd
can
rather
market
not.
it.
I would rather not market that or repeat that. Although it would be an inexpensive one. But yeah, but I do think it was the result of a bit of a sensitivity to that one um uh specific incident. And I'd have to go back through some of my I do tend to keep track of when I try different recipes and stuff. So I'll have to go back and find out specifically what it
I
was.
should start doing that because we are big on trying new recipes all the time. Especially, we see my dad several times throughout the year,
Uh-huh.
and him and like he's gotten us all the tools. Like so, we have a Traeger, we've got a sous vide. We've done a lot of sous vide cooking. I love sous vide cooking. I don't know if you've ever done sous vide cooking. You have?
What? Yeah. Which sous vide do you use?
The one I have is a Nova.
I have it in Nova also.
I love it. I use it all the time. I know at first it was a little daunting to me just because it's something new. And it's like, we've got a food saver and all of that so that we, seal everything. Although I have used Ziploc bags and just done like where you put it in and you let all the air out, up and then seal the bag. Especially if I'm doing like larger items, or I've run out of bags or whatever. I just have done it in a Ziploc. But I'm telling you, it's the kind of cooking you can do and you cannot screw it up. You cannot overcook it. I mean, I guess you could technically if you really like left it in the water bath for an enormous amount of time. But you know, let's say it's supposed to be 3 hours, but you can't get the rest of your meal ready for 4 or 5 hours. It's not going to cook it anymore. Whatever the temperature that you set it at, that's what it stays at. And then what I really love about sous vide cooking is that the leftovers are always so juicy and do not get dried out when you heat them back up. And it's just you can take any piece of meat, you can take the cheapest piece of meat, and you can make it like a 5-star quality using the sous vide and then searing it afterwards, and it's just delicious. So we are, anytime he's around, we're always competing. And then he's a retired professional baker. And so then he's like making his own buns and he's trying different buns. I'm like, I really miss this from your bakery, Dad. Can you try and replicate this? And part of the problem is that all of his recipes, and he saved all of them. He had a huge bakery, one of a kind, truly. And I'm not just saying that because he's my dad. I have never, in my 54 years of life, come across a bakery on what my dad's was like. The volume and the selection from I forget how many breads we sold each day. And we practically sold out every day of them. I want to say it was like 22 different types of bread that we sold. Um, a number of different ryes. Anyway, like a ton of bread and really yummy. He made these ones called Dutchy crust rolls. Oh, it's kind of like a hard roll, but it's got like this crusty part on the top of it, and it's just delicious. Um, and so I'm like, can you remake those? He's like, the problem is all my recipes are in bulk to make for the whole bakery. So I'm like, just put it in the computer. Just, put it in your computer and have it swap it out so you can make it for the amount that you want to make it. So he started to do that with some of his recipes. And then one of my sisters said that they would convert everything because she really wants to start. She is like the gourmet chef in the family, and she really wants to start baking some of his recipes, but needs to convert them so that she's not making 1,000 Kringles because she only wants one. So we are free. Anyway, my whole point, sidetrack Sally came out. My whole point of all of that is that we are constantly doing new recipes, but then I forget when we tried something, if we tried it, and if we liked it. You know what I mean? So I need to start making myself like, I got a cookbook that's got a spot in the back where you can just add notes, and that's what I should use it for. I don't have any notes in there, and that's what I should use it for. Because we've made a couple of recipes a couple of times thinking that we liked it the first time and then realized, no, we did not like it the first time. I don't know why we made this the second time. So,
I would like to say I just tested out the keyboard. It's plugged in. I tested it out.
and,
It works perfectly.
oh, yay.
Yes, but I have to unplug it again, which means it probably won't work when I plug it back in. Uh,
Right.
no, it'll work. And wait until I'm done with my live here so I can disconnect the other keyboard.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go. In fact, I probably should jump off now. Thank you so much for having me up and letting me just say whatever the heck I wanted to say.
Oh, you're quite welcome. I enjoyed our chat. I
I did
enjoyed it.
too. I did
Yeah,
too. We'll do it again.
yeah, we'll definitely have to do this again more often. I enjoyed sitting down chit-chatting.
Well,
Uh,
I'm really good at talking. I'm like a professional at it. And sometimes you have to just remind me to shut up so you can talk.
no, it worked out perfectly because I was sitting here, you know, I don't know if you've noticed, but I can start chatting too, and sometimes I don't shut up. You know,
Yeah.
Nobody's ever noticed that about me because I'm usually really pretty shy. But it worked out well
Right.
because I'm sitting here. I was focused on doing my keyboard, my overzealous keyboard repair, and didn't break it at all.
You did a
Um,
very good job at it.
I fixed my $400 keyboard cheaply. It only
Yeah.
cost me $30 to fix it.
Yeah, I
Um,
still say that was like the best bargain of the day.
I was thrilled. Yeah. Oh, you should have heard me. B could hear me stomping my feet over Messenger. She could hear me stomping my feet and throwing things. I was so mad when my keyboard broke and I found out to replace it was $400.
Oh, I would be too. That's crazy.
Yeah. And it happened the day after I put in a new keyboard tray. I put a new keyboard. That was that picture I put on my community chat. I cleaned up my desk
Yes.
and I'm
Yes,
like,
I saw that.
can anybody tell what I did to my desk? And no, it's not a TMZ. I changed the size of my pencil. Figure it out. Nobody took a guess at what I did. I put a new damn keyboard tray in. I
I
put
didn't
a
know.
yeah.
I looked at it, but I didn't know.
You're supposed to look at the two pictures and see what the difference is. I put a new keyboard tray in, a nice one that has the center thing. So now I could actually push my desk under there.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, that's nice, isn't it? We have a desk like that. I love it.
this is my old keyboard tray. And you can see it has the thing here that actually
Yep.
fits the ergonomic thing perfectly. But I'm going to put this under my. I have my stairs that go downstairs. It's got a wooden desk built in underneath the stairs. It's all
Oh,
like maple, I think.
Ooh, that sounds
plywood.
pretty.
It's plywood made to look like maple.
Well,
And
whatever. It still sounds pretty.
it came with the house. Um, and then it's got cabinets underneath it. I've got to cut out a little bit so that the rails can go underneath it. And that used to be where I would, paint my nails down there and be able to work
Yeah,
with. And
yeah. That's a great idea, actually.
I also have my grow areas down there for when I start my gardening in the spring, which I'll be starting up soon. But
Okay.
I'm gonna fit this tray down there, and because I that grow area is gonna be perfect for when I start, doing some of my master gardening stuff down there with the with
I'm really looking forward to your gardening content and living vicariously because I really would like to do not a big one, but I have a brown thumb. I cannot even keep cactus alive. I'm not even exaggerating. I know people joke about that, but I'm dead serious. There's something my husband and I will get flowers, we'll plant them, and all the ones that I have planted like don't do well. It's like there's something about me that's contaminating something. That's how I feel. I'm sure it's not, but that's how I feel.
I got a whole 4 foot shelf of succulents downstairs. Well, they're not tightly packed, but I just watered them before I started this chat, like minutes before. There's a succulent right there hanging in the window. That's a string of pearls.
I love succulents. I had one and it was doing really good. It even I don't know if it was one that it flowered. There was like little bitty flowers that came off of the succulent. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a cactus that flowered. Do succulents flower?
Yeah, they do actually.
Okay,
Uh,
because it
I,
flowered and
I
it was doing so good. And then I think the cats might have gotten into that one, if I'm being fair. I don't think that one was so much me. I think the cats may have, I know because I could tell it was being dug up, so I moved it. But after that, I think where I moved it to might have just not been a good location for it. I know nothing about plants or but my oldest daughter, she is like, she's got a jungle going on in her house. She's big time into gardening. She is really just flourished in the last couple of years since they bought their house
do
on
you
her garden. It's
have
a,
your yard?
huh?
Do you have dandelions in your yard?
Yes.
Well, then you are a hell of a gardener.
Oh, so that's a good sign?
It means you can garden.
Yeah. I can garden weeds. Yay. My husband usually does like all the outside stuff, but I really would like to just do a couple of not a big garden. I'm talking like I'd like to do tomatoes. I am a tomato fiend, especially fresh tomatoes. And I have tried 3 times to do tomatoes, and they just, the one time nothing grew. The second time I had some, but they didn't taste good. The third time they tasted good, but they were not the size that they were supposed to be. They ended up looking like dwarf tomatoes, and they weren't supposed to be a dwarf tomato. I don't know if that exists, but it was supposed to be a full size, not like the size of a beef eater tomato, but it was supposed to be good sized tomatoes. And mine were like micro size, but they were good. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like I do what the directions say. I talk to people that like know what they're doing and I take the suggestions, but I would really like to grow that and I would really like to do my own herbs. I've tried that twice, where I got like a little herb box and everything that I could put on my windowsill. And the only thing that grew was the basil. Nothing else like came up. Just the basil did.
Okay.
So
Let
yeah,
me
I
tell you
don't have to.
about dandelions. Do you know that dandelion leaves make a great salad?
Yes, I've actually done that. And I've used dandelion tops as decorative, like for serving stuff. Like sometimes I like to do presentation. You know what I mean? And I've used the flowers, and I sometimes I haven't had any in like our yard or whatever, and I've taken the tops of the dandelions and used that as decoration. I heard you can eat dandelions, but I haven't actually eaten a dandelion. So
Okay, dandelion tops also can be used to make wine, and the roots make one hell of a good tea.
Ooh,
So
see, I love tea.
that's why I said if you grow dandelions, then you can garden. So
Well,
don't
I'm going to
go.
tell my husband that when I get off this live that I am actually a gardener. He's going to be
Yeah.
like, okay, honey.
So you do not have a brown thumb. You have a green thumb. You just haven't trained your green thumb to grow exactly what you want yet. But
Yeah.
you do have a brown thumb. So don't beat yourself up. We just have to train your green thumb for what you wanted to grow. So
Yeah.
see, turn. So change your perspective right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try tomatoes again this year. And I'm just going to do it. My daughter was telling me she'd help me with it so that I could do it. We've got like some really good size, all different size, like pots or whatever.
You're in
And that's,
Wisconsin. What would be your ideal tomato? Tell me,
um,
tell me characteristics, not variety. What would be your ideal tomato? What you want a slicing tomato? You want
yes,
something you can bite
yes.
into? Or you want something you can just pop in your mouth?
Um, I I would like both, but the slicing tomato for sure, because hubby and I both love slicing tomatoes. I put it on so much stuff, and I don't do a lot of cooking with the tomatoes sliced. Like now, I might make a sauce or like whatever, like mush them up, that kind of thing. But like to put fresh tomato juice in or whatever. But otherwise, we just make a lot of recipes with tomatoes in it, and I do like cherry tomatoes too, though, because I could just sit down and eat a bowl of those, no problem.
What's your grow zone?
I don't know. I'd have to see. That's how much I don't know. I will find out though, and I'll get back to you on it. I'm pretty sure my daughter knows because she's aware of all of that, especially with us being in Wisconsin. I know she's had to go out and do stuff to protect things with the garden because of temperatures and whatnot, and she was worried that it was going to impact her crops or whatever. So, but I will definitely find out.
Um, okay, I'm not going to ask you to put your zip code in here, but you can go to planthardiness.ars.usda.gov.
Okay, hold on. I'm writing this down. Plant
Hardy
hardiness
hardiness.ars.usda.gov.
.us .gov. Okay.
USDA.gov.
Oh, US. Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
as in
Okay.
Department of Agriculture.gov. Or just type into Google and ask them,
Say what? Yeah. What zone? What I'm supposed to ask? Like what zone I'm in? Right? Is that what you said? The
yeah,
zone?
what your uh grow zone is.
Grow zone. Okay. I will look that up and I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to jump off. You have a great day. Thanks for the hospitality. I enjoyed being up here, and we'll do this again soon.
Yes, we will. Oh, look, you gonna say goodbye? Brulee's here to say goodbye.
Oh, goodbye. Oh, what a beautiful. Is that a boy or a girl?
That's a girl. She's my old girl. Her and her
Oh,
sister are my oldest. They're
what a
15.
beauty.
Yeah, they're
How old
15
is
and
she?
15.
15. Wow. That's what we want for our cats. The last two that we had to put down were 12. And I mean, that's not bad, but we were hoping for longer, of course. So,
Yeah.
but okay, I really am going to go before I get back into another conversation because I know me. So, all right,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.
Bye bye. Okay, everyone. You saw the keyboard is repaired. Once again, we chatted our way through that. The center keys were fixed and replaced. I checked out the keyboard, pulled up a notepad, checked out all the keys, everything works, plugged it in, good to go. And I will keep the old keypad for a while at least. I might list some of these keys, some of these pieces. I might put it up on eBay. This is really disgusting and filthy. I might put this up on pull it out in parts and put it up on eBay. See if I can get some of my money back for what I paid for just the keyboard. But that gave me back the keyboard that I like and have used comfortably for 20 years. And it cost me $30 instead of buying it brand new for $400. I don't think any keyboard is worth $400, but it was definitely worth repairing it for the cost of $30. So that's it. Thanks to Curls for coming up here and helping keep us entertained while I sat there and screwed in a bazillion screws and cleaned out all those keys. Thanks to BDU for keeping the chat going. Terry, thank you for popping in, and for anybody else that comes in, thank you much. Anybody that comes and checks out the stream because of the title, if you have any questions on how to do what I did with this keyboard or any other questions related to this keyboard, put it in the comments. Thanks. Bye now.